Welcome back to another Bisque Imports vlog with me, Ammie Williams, aka Ammie Y'all, and today we're going to be talking about spring cleaning. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you should be mopping more. That's not the kind of spring cleaning I'm talking about. Instead, I'm going to ask you to focus on your samples, your displays, and your inspiration and tools area. We all know that in this industry, samples are a huge part of selling. If you have a piece of bisque that's not moving, that your customers aren't interested in, it seems they're not buying it, take a look at your sample. Do you even have one? If you do have a sample, when did you last paint it? Is it outdated? Is it not trendy? Is it broken or chipped? I know it can feel really overwhelming and frankly exhausting to keep changing your samples and updating them. You feel like maybe you're always painting, but keeping a trendy sample or just something that's seasonal will really help move pieces of bisque, especially those higher ticket items. Styles change and trends change, so consider keeping up with that change by keeping your samples trendy and seasonal. Keeping these samples trendy and updated and fresh not only makes your space look cool and inviting and like you know what you're talking about, but it gives your repeat customers inspiration to paint the same piece of bisque in different designs. So speaking of displays, I urge you to use a speed bump. A speed bump is the display at the front of your store that will physically stop your customers as they walk in. This speed bump should be seasonal and most importantly, shoppable. Use risers to give it height and visual interest and put a ton of different bisque on this speed bump at a variety of different price points. Speed bumps help focus customer attention, which is really important in our line of work because it can be really intimidating to walk into a paint your own pottery studio and see dozens of different things to paint. With a speed bump, you're hand selling something to a customer without actually having to be up there and hand sell. It's incredibly efficient and important to have during the busy times because it's sort of greeting the customer for you when maybe you're at the sink washing dishes or you're loading a kiln. It's giving your customer something to focus on and look at while you can get there and greet them. Your speed bump should be updated, if not monthly, then seasonally. And bring your staff in on it because this is a really fun thing. It can be really exciting. And when your staff are invested in something, they will become better sellers. Another thing to consider when we're thinking about spring cleaning and kind of refreshing our space is to consider the pieces of bisque that aren't selling that well. And before you discontinue it for good, consider the space that it's in. Is it low on your shelves? Is it too high? Getting lost among the masses? Consider rearranging your shelves and shifting the focus and maybe putting it on different pieces that aren't getting the attention they deserve. It's amazing how many great and high ticket pieces of bisque are being lost because customers simply don't want to look down or look up. So now that we're paying attention to our samples and our displays and making sure that they're trendy and up to date, we want to shift our focus over to our inspiration wall, our resources, and our tools that we offer our customers while they are coming in to paint. If you're still holding on to those foam stamps from 2002, it might be time to get rid of them. Really go through your tools and think about them from a customer's point of view. If that tool is hard to use because it smudges or the details are too fine or the stencil just won't wrap around a piece of pottery, maybe get rid of them. Art books and magazines are really great to keep in the studio because they inspire our customers to do really cool things on pottery. But if it's tattered, or worn out, or older than a child that you would allow into your summer camp, it's probably time to say bye. I urge my Good For Y'all subscribers to put each month's project pack and template into a notebook. And as soon as customers, flip through those and use them and decide what they want to paint on their piece of pottery, as soon as that gets dirty, reprint it, put it in a clean plastic sleeve and put it back on your shelf. Because at the end of the day, clean things are just more appealing. When updating your resources area, consider using QR codes and linking to Bisque Imports' YouTube page. That channel is filled with different tutorials by me, Lindsay, Crafty Chica, and so many more, and they are perfect tools for your customer to get some inspiration and step-by-step tutorials without you having to stand beside them and say, okay, now it's time for you to do this. Those resources are there for you to use as workshops, as samples, and for walk-in customer inspiration. So get in there, have fun. Happy spring. I think that we've made it through the worst of winter, fingers crossed. And it's time to take a little breath before summer camp starts and the madness begins. I look forward to hearing about your spring cleaning and all the things that you've done to refresh your studio. You can find me online at Ammie Y'all and Bisque Imports at Bisque Imports. We love hearing from you and hearing how we can support you through things like technique sheets and vlogs. So feel free to reach out at any point and say hi. All right, I gotta go spring clean. So I'll see you next month. Bye.